Hello and welcome everyone to the Navigating Social Media and Comic Books in the Digital Age. I am your host, Joel Daly, although chances are you probably know me better as Cape Joel from my YouTube channel and several of the podcasts I'm on, although judging by my analytics you might not know that, and also my foot traffic, but I'm not complaining. I'm very happy to be here. This is a subject near and dear to my heart. I have a wonderful panel of guests assembled to talk about this, so I figured, hey, let's go down the line and introduce ourselves and reacquaint everyone with who we are.
Hello, I'm Sue Lee. I'm a creator living in New York City.
My name's Fernando Ruiz, and I've been drawing comics for 24 years. And been working for RG Comics, Dynamite Comics, and I also teach at the Kubert School.
Jersey.
And I'm in New Jersey.
We're all Americans.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I'm the only
My
Canadian.
name is Dan Parent, and I've been working at Arch Comics for 32 years, and I also do work for Dynamite, and I work for, we do our own book called Die Kitty Die, which we'll talk about, and I live in Pennsylvania.
Very nice. I mean, I guess we should just start off by saying, how has advances, in the internet and in digital technology in general, how has it influenced you and affected how you do your job? And we can just go from there.
How the internet has affected? Well, I mean, it's social media has really changed the industry a lot. It's been a real boost because now we do so much of our promotion on Facebook and on Twitter, and we have a solid fan base on those platforms who turn out to these shows, so we deal with that. Twitter's been a great promotional tool as far as doing what we do. We do Kickstarter now, and actually, that's been a huge change for us doing Kickstarter, something that we couldn't have done 20 years ago. And that's how we funded our project, Die Kitty Die. So the internet has been quite a financial boom to us, I think.
Yeah, as far as the work goes, I've tried to resist technology as much as possible. I'm still drawing on paper. But
Me too.
Oh, great. But you can't avoid it, right?
I know.
I scan my work. Photoshop it, we clean it up, and I mean the positive part of this is the paper never leaves us. We always have it. The days of mailing artwork all over the world.
You can also sell originals.
That's true. That's true. So the paper is always with me. We scan it. We just send it out electronically. If somebody else is going to ink it, we send it to them. If somebody else is going to color it, which is done totally electronically now, we send it to them. So that's a real difference.
That's true. There's also digital comics.
Oh yeah.
You don't even
comics.
Yeah, I mean, paper's still there for comics, but digital makes it so much easier to read and cheaper for people to read it. On the devices, it's everywhere on your iPad, on Nintendo Switch, everything. You can read comics anywhere now, and I think it's good. It's kind of like the Kickstarter thing where people can put it up, like their own comic, put it up online on Comixology, and just it's so easy to access now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm actually going with it as well. I'm gonna have a digital comic out, yeah.
Wow.
International.
Nice.
It'll be my first. I'm scared.
I understand.
Cool. How do we feel how, the internet and technology has really changed the interaction between fan and creator? The line, it used to be if you had something to say to a creator, whether it was something positive or something negative, you had to write a letter and maybe you'd show up in the back of the book. Now, thanks to Twitter, it feels like, whenever someone feels passionate, they can really get to you so soon and so quickly. Am I right? How does that feel?
Actually, I don't talk much on Twitter because I don't want those interactions. Like, it's fine if people ask me, oh, are you going to this show? Or it's easy for people to ask me questions, and I don't mind. I'm very friendly. And if they want to comment on art directly that we can all post up online, that's great, right? You're just talking to them. But I try to minimize any social media talking because things can go so wrong in this day and age,
It's a double-edged sword.
So I did a panel at Columbia University about social media and how you maintain yourself, and you say one wrong thing and it kind of backfires against you. So there's like some mannerisms. I mean, it's a social platform. Do whatever you want. But I'm personally like a little bit more distance from talking too much. I talk a lot at home. I don't need to talk a lot on the internet.
I feel you.
I'm out there on Facebook a lot, and I don't really I'm on Twitter, but I kind of ignore it.
Yeah.
I just link things to Twitter just so the Twitter people can get it too. But Instagram, but really, especially for us with Die Kitty Die, a lot of our following we've built up just by talking to the fans who wanted to talk to us about the comic. So, I understand there's always that chance it could go really ugly someday. But luckily, so far, just about everybody's been great, and they've all been very supportive. And it's really been just very positive. They get us right away.
Right, and you guys are respectful, and you guys are like...
Yeah, so far we haven't had a need not to be. And like I said, everyone's been nice, and it's also been a great way for when people want artwork.
Right,
just say, I'd like a drawing of Kitty. I'd like an Archie. I'd like a Jughead. Could you do this for us? Yeah, of course. So it's been good socially, promotionally, and certainly in terms of business.
Yeah, it's been 99% positive, I would say. And every once in a while, you can't make everybody happy. We'll get one person every once in a while who's not satisfied, but again, we're very easy to contact. We always respond. We always try and please.
Although I am old school, I do, like we were talking about, email. Don't message me on, Twitter or Instagram for work.
Well, I would prefer that people do send email, Because when they post something in a post, like something you're having a Facebook discussion about something else, and then somebody comes in and says, "I'd like to schedule a Jughead."
You're like,
okay, email me about that. Yeah, right. But some of your older fans, sometimes they're a little less savvy when it comes to social media.
See, I don't use Facebook though, so that gets completely ignored. If anyone messages me on Facebook, it will not be read.
Well, I find Instagram is probably the best one. I think it's starting to be my favorite one. Because you're just talking about images.
Yeah.
People can comment on them and they can message you, but it's really mostly about images and showing and stuff, which I like. Facebook is still more about discussions and things, although Facebook has such a large following that you can't resist it. So I really, I don't know, for me, I'm starting to like Instagram a lot more. But they're all good, and Kickstarter has been really good. It's enabled us, and it enables many people who have projects that they want to get done. It helps them bypass having to go to publishers and having to compromise your project. You can do exactly what you want. And you're either going to fail or you're going to not fail on Kickstarter. So, you can do exactly what you want. And, a lot of times you go to a publisher and then they'll water it down or they'll want something that's different. So, Kickstarter gives you that ability to fulfill what you want to do.
And it's totally between you, the creator, and the buyer. That we're not dealing with the distribution system, although we do a little bit. But really, when people support our Kickstarter, they're buying the book and they're giving us the money to do it. So we're bypassing the publisher, we're bypassing the distributor, and it's just between us and the fan.
Yeah, that's a really good thing because it's just literally you and them. And they feel like they're in control a little bit too, right?
Yeah, and especially too if you run like a good campaign with the rewards and everything, it becomes fun for them.
Absolutely, they feel like they did something too.
And we found the bulk of our Kickstarter supporters came to us through Facebook.
Yeah.
Darn it, maybe I should open my Facebook again.
Yeah, they give you a breakdown of where the traffic comes from, and I think when it breaks down. It's like, like 1%, 2% Google search, 3%, I think it was like 3% Twitter, Instagram was a few percent, I think Facebook was about like 15, 18%, which is a pretty big chunk.
It did help that we already had
like Facebook
presence.
Yeah, it helped that we were on Facebook.
We were on there all the time.
Yeah.
Posting constantly with support. So.
And then the next biggest amount was maybe it's like 10% or 8% comes from people just going on Kickstarter to looking for projects. So that's a nice chunk.
You need to hire someone just to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. I'm available.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually really glad you mentioned distribution because I think that's a very meaty topic that we could dig on into, and that is, if trends continue the way they are, say, I don't know, 20, 30 years from now, where do we think? Yeah. Oh, I know.
Do it in minutes.
I know.
Yeah, in 5 months from now, right?
It's a scary amount of time, isn't it? I was going to say, where do we think the industry is going in terms of distribution and the comic industry and the internet? Do you think the store paradigm is going to stick around? Do you think everyone's going to be reading their comics on their devices now? Do you think there's a place for print media? I know this is a very big question that people in the comic industry have been asking for, I feel, forever now, and I think it's only getting realer and realer.
I think it's changing. It was digital was being good. Now print is coming back. Now digital's coming back. It's been going up and down, I think.
I think there's still, I think we're still probably a generation away from being totally digital.
Yeah.
I think there's still paper
Oh,
forms
for
out
sure,
there.
yeah.
What I think is the shape of that paper form is definitely
It's
going to
changing,
change.
yeah.
Because I think the business, the economics of the 32-page floppy comic book
It's not.
isn't
not
going to be
viable.
sustainable.
No.
I wonder about, we only have one distribution system, which is Diamond.
Yeah, unless someone else comes out.
But I think comics do have a place. They will continue to
Yeah,
exist.
of course.
I just think that the way, the avenue, both the structure of the product itself and how it gets to the fans, I think that's going to really evolve. And I think it's going to be a lot less than 30 years. I think it's going to be very...
Like 10 years?
Maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Well,
10 years from now, we're going to see things very different.
And I think too that there'll always be print because
Always, yeah, for
because,
sure.
it's like vinyl. Vinyl's back
People
now.
wanna
They don't
collect
want
it.
it. There's part of it's nostalgia, part of it's just because people like that. And it was different, when the digital stuff started happening and newspapers were going under. That was different because you don't need to collect your newspaper in a
Right.
way. But comic books are more collectible. People there's that collectability factor. But having said that, I think there's going to be less and less 32s. I think you're going to see more trades. I mean,
More
trades,
trades, I think that.
trades are here to stay. You're going to see
More
more digital to trade and skipping the 32 pages.
Like straight graphic novels, I don't think issues are going to survive for too long.
Yeah, I guess it's weird because there's more comic books than ever.
I know.
Having said
I haven't been to a comic book store in a while, and I did here. I was like, oh my god.
Diamond is putting out more titles than ever.
Lot.
So, but they're just selling a lot less.
Yes.
And then the margins to make money are so thin now that even like DC and Marvel, aren't making a lot of money on most titles.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. But trades are healthy because they have a longer shelf life in bookstores. Trades will sit there forever in bookstores, whereas comic books are off the shelves for a week or two and they're taken off.
But then digital, people will make like $1 here, $1 there, and it's like, you can just make money. There's no overhead.
Well, right. With digital, and that's why you're going to see, I think, more digital to trade seems to be a lot of what's going on.
For
The
sure.
limitation with digital is that getting it to that first-time buyer.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was
You
you can't browse it, and the strength of comic books they were everywhere, so they were accessible as an impulse buy.
Right, exactly.
And I think that's one of the things that have hurt us in the last 20, 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
Is that we've retreated to comic shops. We're nowhere else but comic shops, really, not substantially. So finding that next generation of Superman fans, and Archie fans, comic book fan is getting tougher. Now they specifically have to go online and specifically look for web comics and digital comics, which makes it really tough.
Yeah.
It really forces us to have that social media presence all the more.
I know. Yeah, it all ties in.
It's a snake eating itself.
An Ouroboros, if you will. I guess the next question would be, is there anything that the internet and social media and everything currently doesn't help you do as a comic creator that you really wish it could?
I guess this doesn't directly answer your question, but because of social media, there's so many creators now, right? There's so many. In a sea, it's like once you had 5 names that people knew, but now it's like you just go open Instagram, it's like a sea of artists that you have to repeat again. You know what I mean? It's just endless creators now.
Well, that's, I think of like platforms like DeviantArt,
Yeah.
where
So
I
much
think that-
competition.
Well, I used to be on DeviantArt. I think that was the first
Yeah.
thing I dabbled in
Yeah.
social media-wise. But the thing that killed me is, it is so wide open.
Yeah, then what do you say? What do you do?
And you're on there not only with other professionals,
Yeah.
but with, the 8-year-old kid who's just drawing Wolverine
Yeah, I
on his
know.
math notebook.
You scan the computer art paper, right?
Yeah, so it's very easy just to be, and I think webcomics too, although I think there's a lot of potential and a lot of promise there. Webcomics were like the dinner bell for anyone who ever wanted to put up a webcomic.
Yeah.
Whether they had any training or whether they were good or not.
Yeah.
So when that happens, and I think, I've always been afraid this would happen to Kickstarter too, you get a lot of amateurism out there, and it kind of brings down
Yeah.
the reputation of the platform.
Yeah.
It brings down Kickstarter, it brings down DeviantArt.
Everyone's doing it.
Yeah,
Literally
everybody's
everyone.
in there, and there's a lot of sludge. And you might be the only quality thing.
But they have to get through that.
They have to sift
Yeah,
through all
yeah.
this bad stuff.
They won't know.
Right, exactly. Because it's all, until that good stuff really starts getting that reputation where people are actively seeking it out.
Then I guess it's also like the newbies doing this are also like all the big time people are also going on the digital, and I don't have a voice because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I guess that it's like just a flip side to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just have to be smart about it.
I think with
It's a whole other job.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It's like when we were doing the Kickstarter, it's like a full-time job just promoting it
Yeah.
every day on every platform. And then with the Kickstarter too, as great as of an avenue it is to get your project going, there's a lot of Kickstarters where people don't fulfill them. You start hearing more and more about people who had these Kickstarters and the product doesn't come out, or it takes 2 years for the product to come out. And I think that kind of drags us down too, because people that have been burned on Kickstarters are like, well, I'm not even going to deal with Kickstarters anymore. Which is why we try and be as quick as we can be, or at least as communicative as we can be with our backers. So even if we're late, which we're late sometimes, they know why and they know how long we're going to be. You really have to keep those
That's where
communication
the
going.
social media factors in too, because even if they start getting impatient, they know they could get us right away.
Right.
They know where we're at, and they also will see that we're actively working on stuff and actively getting closer to that goal of getting the stuff in their hands.
Right. Like we were, I think we're supposed to have our Dark Kitty Type books are coming out this week. It was just to come out in early September. I think it was early September. I think.
Our Halloween special.
Our Halloween special is coming out this week, but we're getting copies this week, but it won't be in stores until after Halloween.
It will now be the post-Halloween special.
So we've let people know about it. They're pretty cool with it because they know it's coming and they know it's just going to be a little bit late, and they appreciate being communicated. They appreciate being communicated too about it. Whereas if you just don't say anything and just it's like then forget it.
That's the worst. You can't just run or lay low and hope nobody comes after you.
Right.
Because and that's the flip side of the social media, because then people will get on there
They'll find you.
and they'll talk.
Yeah,
And
they'll find
talk.
you.
And before you know it, you're, hey, so-and-so, the guy who ran that scam Kickstarter.
Exactly.
That's actually a perfect segue to, you mentioned your Kickstarter, you mentioned your upcoming projects and everything. Would you like to do some promotion? Everyone here, what's your next big thing you got coming out that you're really proud of that you want to talk about?
I have a book coming out with Black Mask. It's in the making for a while now. I just don't know when it's coming out yet, but it looks great. It's the first time I can say it looks pretty good. I'm waiting for that to come out, and I'm going to be working on a digital comic, but not for the States or Canada. It'll be international, but that's all I can say.
Exciting.
Well, our next big thing is Die Kitty Die, Heaven and Hell. The third volume will be in our hands, hopefully this upcoming week.
Yeah.
And that means not only will it soon be in stores and in our Kickstarter's hands, but we'll also be offering it on both of our websites, and on diekittydi.com, and my website, FernandoRuizEverybody.com, and yours.
Yeah, danheron.com. And also, yeah, did you say diekitty.com? You said diekitty.com. Well, so many websites to keep track of. But yeah, so that'll be good. And then, we've learned a couple new things, like we're doing a kitty figure, which is a learning process. We're hoping to have, it's a Halloween sort of looking kitty. We wanted to have it for Halloween. There's no way that's happening. But we did get the prototype this week, so it looks fantastic. As good as we could have imagined it's going to look, so we're really happy with it. So, these things, they're going to get, now it's going to go into production, and it's going to be really great. So, we've been keeping people updated on that. We've been showing them the designs and the process, so people know, they can see the timeline, and they know that we're working on it. So we're not just, again, not communicating and saying 5 months later, oh yeah, here it is. They know the steps of the figure. So that was a new thing. We've never done a figure before, so we ventured into that realm now, which is fun. But yeah, the new Kitty series is out now, or will be.